T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff.
Live from somewhere deep in the Freedom State of Florida, it's the Let's Be Frank Show with your host, Frank.
What happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again. What?
Yes. Rest in peace, brother. Of course, that was the great Hulk Hogan at the RNC last year, where he came out in support of President Donald J. Trump during the RNC, during the lead up to the election. And of course, Hulk Hogan has been a staple in all of culture and stuff since the 1980s. And it was really cool to see him up on that stage one last time, not knowing it was going to be basically his big last performance that he put on for everyone as Hulk Hogan. And sadly, he passed away today at the age of 71, I believe, of a cardiac arrest, heart attack in his home in Florida. He was pronounced dead around 11:20 this morning. So very sad that we have lost another good one. We lost Hulk Hogan. So, there's going to be so much that I remember from my childhood, watching him in the wrestling ring, watching him in those 1980 cartoons that they had with him in it. Some of his movie roles that he took on in the 1980s. What was this? Suburban Commando, where it was him and Christopher Lloyd. There was some great stuff that he was involved in. Of course, a staple on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling figures that are out there. And it was just great to see him. And I know we're talking about Biden today. We're talking about, his chief of staff turning on him. But I thought it'd be appropriate to open the stream with a tribute to Hulk Hogan from this last year. So rest in peace, brother. I hope that we see you on the other side as well. Maybe you will give me a leg drop when we're up there in heaven together. So it's great to see all of you guys here tonight. Thank you for being part of the Freedom Stream. We do these every day at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm glad that you're joining me tonight. Thank you for watching over on Rumble as well. All my Rumble maniacs as you are. So all of you guys that are watching over there, thank you so much for being part of the show, being part of the stream. So thank you again so much. But we got all kinds of stories to take a look at. One of the major ones, of course, is, if you guys didn't know, the House of Representatives, one of the committees, have been going after the cover-up of Joe Biden's health decline and how everyone was in on it. And thus far, so many individuals from the Biden administration have pleaded the fifth. Well, the chief of staff for Biden did not plead the fifth. He sung like a canary. That dude went into that meeting, did not plead the fifth. and started to sell out his boss. And of course, and it's more than that, right? Because obviously Biden's health was declining. That was evident to any rational human being who looked at it rationally and said, yeah, there's something wrong with that dude. That dude does not look healthy at all mentally. He is gone. And his wife obviously participated in elder abuse by using him. And then his staff used his auto pen to sign a bunch of pardons and clemencies for people that Biden didn't even approve to have pardons or clemencies. And of course, the discussion then moves on was the Supreme Court Justice Jackson. Was she actually legitimate? Was it used with auto pen? We don't know. And that's what this whole investigation's about, or part of it. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look at that tonight, because that is an important story that we should be following and looking at, because I know we have so much going on. So much have hit us in the last 2-3 weeks, right? Epstein list, the Tulsi Gabbard just unloading on Obama and Clinton. That's what we've been following that. But that's the auto pen scandal. And of course, this is part of that auto pen scandal. So we've had 3 major investigations going on basically at the same time. And it's really hard to make sure we're keeping track of all of the moving pieces that are currently going on, because if we don't, we'll lose sight of what's happening. And we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we're up to date with all the info that we have. And this here is from the Gateway Pundit. Let me go ahead and get up on the screen here for you guys about there we go. About Ron Klein, the chief of staff of Joe Biden. So let's go ahead and take a look at this quick story here. Hey, Gen X, great to see you, by the way. Hey, Frank, hope you and your family are doing well. A lot of crazy stuff has happened over the last few weeks, for sure. For sure. Great to see you guys. Raymaker is here as well, and Dr. Insomnia. And let me just say hello to some of you guys here in the chat. Hi, Mileage Husband. Great to see you. We also have Cool Ramon here. Ham Banana is therapist. Hello, hello, hello. Roofing Dude. So great to see all of you guys coming in, being part of the Freedom Stream. Hello, Lessa. Great to see you as well. And Dr. Insomnia. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it here. From the Gateway Pundit, we have this story. Developing Biden Chief of Staff Ron Klein cooperated in the congressional testimony on Biden's health decline. He's talking a lot. Again, this is significant because every other staffer they've hauled in front of Congress have all taken the fifth. They've refused to talk. And it's quite interesting that Ron Klein is not refusing to talk. Joe Biden's White House staff, Chief of Staff Ron Klein, testified before the House Oversight Committee on Thursday about Biden's health decline. House Oversight Chairman James Comer demanded interviews from Biden's auto pen gatekeepers. These are some of them here. Michael Donlin, Anita Dunn, Ron Klein, Bruce Reitz, and Steve Richett. According to reports, unlike the other Biden officials whom the Oversight Committee disposed, Ron Klein is cooperating with congressional investigators and did not invoke his Fifth Amendment rights. This is from Andy Biggs here over on Twitter. He says, this morning I attended the Oversight Committee's closed-door interview of Ron Klein, a former chief of staff to President Joe Biden. Unlike the other Biden officials the committee has disposed, Klein is not asserting any executive privileges or invoking his Fifth Amendment right. Ron Klein ignored reporters as he walked into his deposition today. There he is on the Hill. Klein was reportedly talking a lot in the deposition. Nobody seems surprised he didn't go. Nobody seems surprised he didn't go plead the fifth route, given that he's been prone to speak unprompted, a former Klein colleague said, according to the New York Post. Representative Andy Biggs said to reporters, in my opinion, he's not trying to avoid answering the questions. I found Mr. Klein to be very credible. He answered every single question. He was fully cooperative. Democrat Roa Khan said to reporters. Joe Biden's physician, Dr. O'Connor, Jill Biden's work husband, Anthony Barnell, and Biden's senior aide, Ann Thompson, have all pleaded the fifth during their congressional deposition. So here's this. Let me go ahead and play this.
Hey, Martha, I'm told that this meeting is just wrapping up, so we could shortly see Ron Klain come out of that deposition room. I'm told by both Democrats and Republicans that he is not pleading the fifth. He is talking, he is being cooperative, and that he's not evading questions, and that he has been seemingly sounding credible. Listen to this.
He's not trying to avoid answering the questions. He's answering the questions carefully.
It was credible, humble. It was non-confrontational. He answered every question comprehensively. Didn't avoid a single question.
Let me stop that for a second, just real quick. This is a Democrat here talking, and I love it. He's talking, and right behind him is the picture of President Trump right back here on the congressional wall of Roger Williams, it looks like. I don't know. He's from, looks like Texas, representative out of Texas. He has the picture of President Trump, the fight. I just find it hilarious. It's in the background as this Democrat is talking here. Anyway, just wanted to point that out. I thought it was quite hilarious.
Mr. Klain, can you just tell us, now that you're done with this deposition, did you talk about Hunter Biden at all and that claim about Ambien? Okay, Martha, it looks like he has stopped over in the restroom. While he is in there, I just want to tell you that they were asking, I was told they were asking him today about those Hunter Biden claims that his father had been given Ambien before that debate, and that is the reason for his disastrous debate performance. And so the Oversight Committee chairman said that they were going to ask questions about that, particularly because Ron Klain was there with him, very close, up and personal with President Biden during that debate prep. He definitely did not paint a very pretty picture of the president in this book, Uncharted by Chris Whipple. In it, he said that Biden was exhausted and out of it. And here's a quote from it. 25 minutes into the second mock debate, the president was done for the day. He said, "I'm just too tired to continue. I'm afraid of losing my voice here, and I feel bad." And then he says that Biden told him, "I just need to sleep. I'll be fine tomorrow." And he went off to bed. Now, Hunter Biden did backtrack a little bit after that interview in which he made those comments. He told ABC News a little bit later that he didn't mean that his dad took Ambien right before the debate. He was just talking about how exhausted he was and he needed help sleeping. But we're just waiting for Ron Klain to pop out. We're going to let him do his business, and then we'll try to.
So, yeah. So Ron Klain, of course, quickly dove into the restroom so he wouldn't have to answer any questions from Fox News there. But again, most of these aides from Biden's administration are pleading the fifth. They are not wanting to even speak to the Oversight Committee. It's very interesting here that the chief of staff of Joe Biden has been so forthcoming and so willing to talk to congressional members there in that meeting. And of course, we saw the two, Andy Biggs and Roa Khan, come out and talk about how cooperative he had been, non-confrontational, willing to talk about any question that was being delivered to him. And so it leads me to wonder if they're actually getting to the bottom of this whole AutoPen scandal. And with him being the chief of staff, he would have much more credibility, much more weight behind his words and behind his testimony than maybe some of these other Biden staffers. And with what he is possibly saying inside these closed doors meetings, would probably lead to hopefully some criminal referrals for others who were working behind the scenes to utilize his AutoPen without the president's, of course, without President Biden's permission, and using it in a way that it was not meant to, which again opens up a whole can of worms. What's legitimate and what's not? And if you ask me, I believe the whole presidency of Joe Biden was illegitimate anyway, because of the cheating that took place back in 2020, because of what took place in 2016 with the spy gate stuff that dragged on for 2 years, purposely dragged on for 2 years in order to damage Trump, to damage the Republican Party in the midterm elections, which then the House flipped to Democrats. Democrats then used the House to go ahead and impeach President Trump twice, and then drug that out even further over the next 2 years and continue to damage him prior to the 2020 election. So by the time the 2020 election rolled around, of course, we were dealing with some external threats here with COVID, and which was, I'm 100% sure that was all utilized in order to, really dump a bunch of fraudulent ballots into the system that were not counted, probably Chinese ballots. And so by the time that showed up, the American people were exhausted of hearing Trump, but 75 million people still showed up for President Trump in that election. 75. So 2 elections in a row, President Trump received over 74 million votes in 2 elections that he was in, more than any other president besides, I guess, Joe Biden, if you want to count his 81 cajillion votes that he received during that 2020 election, which I believe was obviously fraudulent. And so maybe Ron Klein is like, maybe I want to go ahead and wash my hands of this. Maybe as I'm speaking with the congressional members of Congress, maybe I can go ahead and secure myself at one of those pardons. And if with me exchanging information, you guys are going to make sure I don't go to prison. But I have no problem with all these other staffers around Biden going to prison. I just want to stay out myself. So that could be the angle that Ron Klein is angling for in this deposition. Maybe this is why he came in so open and willing to basically make a deal with the House Oversight Committee and saying, hey, yo, I'll cooperate. I just need you to make sure that when the crap hits the fan, I'm not covered in any of it. And maybe that's what his reasoning was. Maybe that's what some of the prior conversations were heading into it. Maybe he had some private conversations with some of these congressional members of Congress and ensuring that, whatever testimony he was delivering, he would not be receiving any blowback from it. And so it's quite interesting that how this is going to work out, because again, all of this is connected. All of these scandals are connected. The Epstein scandal is connected to Spygate. Spygate's connected to the fraudulent election of 2020, which is connected to COVID, which is connected to the auto pin scandal of Joe Biden. So it's all connected. All of these scandals are connected. If I had a board back here and I could like do the little yarn stuff, we could see how they were all connected. That's how, and you think it's crazy. You're like, there's no way, the normies out there, they're like, there's no way all of this is connected. And then you start looking at all the players, all the people, all the overlap. And you're like, there's no way this cannot be connected. There's no way that these things are not all playing off of each other in order to obviously sabotage the Trump presidency, sabotage the will of the American people, to invalidate the votes of 2016. And that's what it basically was. And I'm all for crazy. I'm all for this so-called conspiracy, because I believe it's not a conspiracy. I believe it's an actual thing. And the normies are going to be blown away so much. They're just going to be just staring at their TV sets with their jaws on the floor, trying to make sense of it, because they refuse to look into it any further than what the media was feeding them this entire time. And so that is what we're kind of seeing with all of this. Lessa Anderson, Frank, what was Pam Bonnie's medical emergency? I don't know. I didn't see anything about Pam Bonnie's medical emergency. Real quick, let me look it up real quick. I can take a look and we can look together. Let me see. Pam Bondi medical emergency. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm just seeing this for the first time. Sorry, I was out for a while, went out to dinner, and I wasn't even looking. But yeah, let's go ahead and cover that real quick. Thank you for the heads up. Let me go ahead and cover that real quick. Take that off stage here, and we'll look at this. Did not even see this until you just mentioned it. Here we go. From the Daily Mail over here. Pam Bondi mysteriously drops out with a sudden medical emergency less than 24 hours before the DOJ's secret meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. Do you really think this is a coincidence? This Daily Mail's here. Sudden medical condition sidelines Pam Bondi after explosive report. Scroll down here. Maxwell gets a private meeting with Deputy AG. Pam Bondi is out with a sudden medical emergency. Epstein's top accomplice is getting FaceTime with Deputy AG Tom Blanche behind closed doors. No press, no oversight. Bandy's gone. Blanche steps in. What deal is being made and what the hell is going on? Here's another one. Pam Bondi has canceled her appearance at the Anti-Human Trafficking Summit over a sudden medical issue. I'm recovering from a recently torn cornea, which is preventing me from being with you. How does something like that even happen, DK says. Wow. I did not see this report earlier today. That raises some questions. That raises some questions there. Huh. What do you guys think? I'm just reacting to this for the first time. That Trump meme. I'm just hearing this for the first time. What do you guys make of this? Do you think this is legitimate? Do you think it was actually a torn cornea? How does that even happen, right? I mean, maybe does she wear contact lenses? Maybe she was like removing her contact and with her nail, maybe she scratched her cornea. I don't know. I don't know how that happens. Did she get swatted in her eye? I don't know. That's really weird. Why does all this happen? Right? Okay. Let's back up for a second. Anytime there's an explosive report that has anything to do with this Epstein stuff, something always happens. Something always happens. I think Epstein's lawyer just died like a few days ago. Does anybody remember seeing that story? I thought I saw that story. Epstein's lawyer died just like a few days ago before Ghislaine Maxwell was going to go testify to the DOJ. And then all of a sudden, Pam Bondi, on the day that she's going to testify, the Attorney General's assistant has to do it. The deputy Attorney General has to do the deposition. Does any of this seem weird to you guys? It just seems weird. I don't want to. I know we were just talking about this whole conspiracy thing and how everything's connected, and this just seems really weird. I mean, should Ghislaine Maxwell be nervous? Should she be worried that this may be the last interview she gives? I don't know. So anyway, I find this weird. I'm recovering from a recently torn. Yeah. Raymaker says Hillary spit in her eye. Snakes do that kind of thing. Yeah, the lawyer died on the 21st, so 3 days ago. Yeah, 3 days ago the lawyer died, and now we have Pam Bondi dropping out of this thing here. Les Anderson, sorry, Frank, I didn't mean to disturb your conversation, but was curious about what you thought. Yeah, I'm trying to make out what I thought. I didn't know about this because during show prep, I went out to dinner with my daughter and my wife, and we met up with her, and we had dinner and we hung out. So I wasn't even really on my phone. And I got back here and started doing stream prep, and I didn't see some of this places I look for stories. I didn't even see this pop up, and so very, very, very strange, very strange. WDP says, I don't think the lawyer's passing was a coincidence. I think you were correct. I think you're correct. We need peace. I don't think it is a coincidence at all. But I do think that there's something strange going on with Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi, maybe they have something on Pam Bondi. Maybe Pam Bondi is compromised. Trump had already told her to release the documents, if you recall. She says she had the documents, remember, on her desk, the Bermuda Triangle, on her desk. And then all of a sudden, she didn't have the files anymore. The files never existed. The tapes were missing minutes. And now all of a sudden she couldn't be there for the Ghislaine Maxwell deposition. That's just weird. That's weird. I'm going to go ahead and put a pin in this for right now. And we'll come back to it. I may have to do a video on it. I'm going to have to read up a little bit more on this before I can really give a assessment, Lessa. So yeah, I will do some more digging on this and maybe do a standalone video. I'll do a standalone video on this guy, on this whole thing. Pam Bondi out all of a sudden because of a torn cornea. That's what are the odds? What are the odds? I mean, they have to be astronomical, right? Am I the only one that thinks that they have to be astronomical, that on the day of this important briefing, you can't make it? Oh, man. Man, yeah. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and put a pin in that one. I'm going to have to do a Jen Psaki. I'm going to have to circle back to this one, and we'll go ahead and dissect that one a little bit better. Maybe I'll have it ready for the Friday night Freedom stream for you guys. Do you think that they might bring in Matt Gaetz? That would be great. Matt Gaetz is who nobody wanted, right? And he was Trump's first choice. Trump's first choice. No senators wanted him. Wonder why? Maybe it's because Matt Gaetz wasn't going to mess around. Maybe Matt Gaetz knew where the bodies were buried and was ready to go ahead and expose them by prosecuting them. And they knew that Matt Gaetz would do that. So for sure. Maybe Trump does. Maybe, I know Trump was talking about calling for a recess for him, the Senate, so he could appoint some people quickly and get them into place without the Senate's consent. You know, by having the recess, President Trump has the constitutional authority to fill positions while the Senate's at recess. They haven't had a full recess in like a decade. They've always kind of left a senator behind, so that way it's not technically a full recess. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, Dr. Asami, recess appointment. Trump could do it. Recess appointments don't have to be approved for several months. Correct. So, yeah, we'll look into that. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the heads up, Lessa. I'm going to have bookmark those and have those ready to go, and I'll take a look at it later. Again, I wasn't prepared for that, and not having that prepared, I feel like I'm not prepared to give a good statement. So yeah, we'll take a look. We'll keep my eye out on that for you. Yeah, real quick before we move off any further into any other things, I just want to put this out here real quick for you guys. Currently looking to I set a goal for the channel to reach 50 memberships on the channel. So if you are able to help get to that goal, I like to get to it before the end of August. We're at 14 memberships currently, looking to get to 50 before the end of August. So if you'd like to help the channel out, if you like the content that's produced here, you like the Freedom streams, you like those types of content that's currently being produced here, I would encourage you, if you're able to financially to help out, that'd be great. That's a great way to support the channel. But if you cannot, you can always still like the streams, like the videos, and share them. And if you're new here, you can subscribe and help the channel continue to grow. It's just a goal I've set for the channel that I'd like to try to reach before the end of August. And I think it's a attainable goal with what we have going on here. So anyhow, just would like to go ahead and just put that out there. Let's go ahead and get back to the stories that we have here, because we have a lot more to talk about. And I got to take that off the stage because we're not talking about that one anymore. So great news. I don't know if you guys heard the news. The View may be going away. They only have one more show, guys. One more show. So here, Joy Behar proclaims the monster Donald Trump will be taken down by Fox News. She also announced, apparently by accident, The View will be going on a hiatus for a bit. We only have one more show after this. This is the video from today. Let's take a listen.
And before we go on hiatus, we only have one more show after this. I'm allowed to say that, right?
Too late now.
So it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Before we go, I wanted to tell people that the tide is turning. The tide is turning, and things are changing. I mean, the ultimate irony would be that Rupert Murdoch will take him down.
Yeah.
Fox News, who created the monster, will take him down.
Yeah, Fox News is not taking down Donald Trump, by the way. But The View, yeah, it's not looking good for them. So Joy Behar accidentally let slip that The View is taking a break on Thursday's morning show. And before we go on hiatus, we only have one more show after this. I'm allowed to say that, right? Behar said as she trashed President Trump. Too late now, Alyssa Farah Griffin said. It doesn't appear that Behar is referring to the show's annual summer hiatus. Behar's submission comes after Stephen Colbert's late night show was canceled after he was losing $40 million a year. On Thursday, CBS announced it canceled the late show with Stephen Colbert for financial reasons. The show will end after the next season in May of 2026. Colbert's show is reportedly losing $40 million a year before it was axed. Oh, man, that would be the View getting to axe. That would be poetry. That would be amazing. I would love to see The View get the axe. That would be great. That would be great. It would be great. That wouldn't be so great for me, though. I wouldn't have any clips of Joey Behar or Whoopi Goldberg flipping out anymore. Maybe they could actually maybe have their own like podcast or something. I could like clip those. But them going away would be amazing. That would be amazing. That'd be like the icing on the cake, right? That'd be like, oh man, the cake's so good, even without this icing. But you throw that icing on there, you're like, oh, this cake's so much more better, so much better. I love this cake, right? And with them going on a hiatus, and they weren't allowed to say anything, maybe they are looking to either one or two things going to happen with the show. One, The View is going to go bye-bye, or two, they're really going to restructure The View. Maybe they get rid of a few more of, well, they're all left-wing voices on there. There are no Republicans or right-wing voices on The View. Alyssa Farah, who they say is a Republican or whatever, she is not a Republican. She is a Democrat light. That's why she's allowed to be on the show. Maybe they're actually going to retool the show to be more evenly balanced. It would be interesting to see maybe if they put, I don't know, like Laura Trump on the show, or they put, I don't know, Kayleigh McEnany on the show, or somebody like that, right? It doesn't have to be them two or whatever, but somebody like that on the shows. It would really, really change the dynamic of the show. But I would prefer the show to go ahead and just go bye-bye. I would not suggest it to be retooled. I'd be like, yeah, we can just go ahead and axe it. I'd be good with axing The View. We don't need The View. We don't need that show on the air anymore. That's nothing but just a bunch of hags on there who just bellyache and complain and whine. And it's just sad. Feminism really does destroy women. It really, truly does. Feminism is such a deadly thing, and it affects all kinds of political on the spectrum. You have feminists on the right as well. There's lots of feminists on the right who are very bad to the movement. And then, of course, you have your standard feminists who are typically on the left. Then you have your ultra feminists, which are men pretending to be women. So, I mean, I guess we have the whole spectrum covered as far as who may be women over on the feminist side now. And I had a story. This is so weird. Take a look at this. A makeup company. I guess it shouldn't be too weird, right? It shouldn't be that weird. I mean, because we live in a society now that tries to tell us what men and women are, and they try to pass off that men can be women. I had a story here with a dude who was just given a huge contract with a makeup company to do their makeup. They're like sponsoring them. Oh, where is that? I had that story. I'm going to be really sad. I can't find it. I had it earlier. I had it for those, a couple shows ago that we were going to do. I never got to it. Let's see here. This, I like my bookmark system that I have over on Twitter, but sometimes this thing bugs out, man. Sometimes this thing just bugs out and it doesn't want to cooperate, and it starts doing all kinds of weird stuff like it just did. Oh, there it was. Just saw it. Just saw it, and it scrolled up on me. Here it goes. Okay. All right. I don't know if you ladies out there, any of you guys use Ultra Beauty? Ultra Beauty? It's a makeup company. Do you guys use that, ladies? I don't know. I have daughters. I'm sure they've probably used the product before. Here we go. So Ultra Beauty just hired a bearded dude in a dress. Oh, get ready. Get ready. Dude's in a beard. He has chest hair. He got to be trolling, man. He has to be trolling. He has to be trolling, man. There's no way. There's no way $1 million company just gave this guy a bunch of money for their makeup. There's no way. There's no way. Let's take a listen. Here we go. Oh boy. Can't wait.
JVN here is now at Ulta, and I'm here to see the display for the first time, you guys. Hi, honey. What's your name?
Paulina.
Nice to meet you, Paulina. Nice to meet you. What's your name, honey? Nice to meet you, Lil. We're going to see what JVN hair looks like at Ulta for the first time. It's going to be Ulta fun. Okay, let's see it. Who's that? She's so pretty. I got highlights since then. You guys, do you think it's pretty? It's gorgeous. Do you think she's going to get along with all of her other new Ulta friends? She fits right in. She does, right? JVN hair is now at Ulta Beauty nationwide.
Oh my gosh. No. No, no, no. No. Women, this is on you too, man. Not maybe you women who are watching, it's not on you guys, but bro, come on. Come on. Bro in a beard is getting a makeup deal that the makeup's for women. The dude in a dress who has chest hair popping out the dress just absolutely gave a deal to this guy for their makeup. And all he had to do was put a dress on. It reminds me of those old 1980 commercials, the Bud Light commercials. Was it Bud Light? Ladies' Night. Remember Ladies' Night? Oh my gosh. Ladies' Night. Bud Light. Night. Bud Light. Commercial. It was 1993. Let's see here. This is what it reminds me of. When I see this, go ahead, pull this up for you guys. Sorry, got to do it now. I have to do this. I don't want to do it. I have to do it now. I got to do it. Got to do it. Here we go.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
Oh,
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's what it reminds me of. That right there, it's what that reminds me of. Yeah, when I see it, I cannot not think of the Bud Light commercials of the early 90s, of the ladies' night, of these dudes in dresses with big old mustaches, and it's obviously they're men. Obviously, they're guys, right? That's the whole joke of the commercial, that they're men pretending to be women so they can get Bud Light. That's the joke. They're men. That's the joke. And here, 2025, we have a makeup company who sells exclusively makeup products for women. For women, giving a makeup deal to a dude with a beard who has chest hair coming out of his dress. Come on. Come on. Come on, man. It was supposed to be a joke, guys. We weren't supposed to be serious about dudes in dresses in 2025 getting makeup deals from makeup companies that exclusively sell to women. Were we? It was a joke. It was a joke. And somehow in 2025, we decided that was serious. Men can go ahead and get makeup deals now. Do you guys remember this commercial in the 90s? Do you all remember? I think it was part of like the Super Bowl lead up, right? Back in the early 90s, the Super Bowl lead up, when Bud Light, we used to do these funny commercials. But yeah, so Mandy says, I no longer go into Ulta because of the freaks that work there. Yeah, are they dudes? Probably. They're probably dudes. And Cool Ramone's having Bud Light flashbacks. Yeah. So anyway, that's the Ulta commercial. That's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of the Bud Light beer commercials with dudes with beards trying to get lady night discounted beer and just dress up in a dress, and there was no effort, right? There was no effort going into that commercial. All right, it was just a bunch of dudes probably wore their wife's dresses so they go get an extra beer for ladies' night. The premise of the commercial, right? It was that the joke was that there were men. They were men. They were still going to be men afterwards. So yeah. Yeah. Anyhow, I thought that was hilarious. That was funny. The trip down memory lane. Let's see here. So, speaking of Jen Psaki, she really ruffled the feathers of John Brennan. Really ruffled the feathers of John Brennan. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. This here, John Brennan was on with Jen Psaki talking about Tulsi Gabbard. Let's take a listen.
Tulsi Gabbard, she may be impaired on the ethics front, certainly, but she's not impaired on the intellect front. And so I can only presume that she is doing this intentionally mischaracterizing, misrepresenting, and lying about what she has found.
Dude seems a little nervous to me. That dude seems nervous to me. That guy knows that there's something coming down the pipe for him. Him and his buddy, James Clapper, and so many other of the Obama appointees. So yeah, John Brennan, the liar, the CIA liar, the one who helped come up with this strategy to take this Russiagate stuff and push it out to the mainstream media. This is why he's always been friendly with the media. The media has always been friendly with John Brennan because John Brennan was one of their biggest sources from inside the government. He would intentionally leak items to the press in order, or out of context things to the press so they could do those smear jobs on people they did not like, political hit jobs. There was a they had special access to these guys. They had like backdoor lines into the CIA, FBI, NSA, et cetera, all the three-letter agencies with the major media companies and feeding them information, basically giving them the headlines of stories they wanted to write. And John Brennan was no different in his relationship with the mainstream media. He utilized the mainstream media to his advantage for the Democrat Party, for Barack Hussein Obama, in order to go after these individuals. So people like Brennan definitely need to face justice. This guy's a card-carrying communist. He's a commie. He literally was registered as a communist. Brendan was. And he was put in charge of one of our biggest executive branch departments. Yeah. Brendan would look great in orange, Jetman. He would look great in orange. I think he would look good along with the rest of those clowns from the from the whole Obama Biden group. Let's see here. Got that story done right here. We talked about the tranquilizers yesterday. Let's see. I did have one other story over here on Twitter. Let me go ahead and pull that one up real quick for us. Now that I need to look into the actually, that may have been the last one. But for good time's sakes, let's go ahead and watch this video again. This video is awesome. I love watching this video. These should probably go into my intro somehow. Need to work it in. Maybe I need to get in contact with John Paul Revere and see if he can work something in like this. This would be cool. Hillary Clinton getting tossed into the van. Yes. One of my favorite videos of all time. Of Hillary Clinton. Whoop. There she goes. Down she goes. Whoop. Into the van. I could watch this on repeat all day. We could maybe do a 24-hour channel of just this playing on loop. People would tune into it like a slab of meat. Absolutely, Jason. Like a slab of meat, just tossing her right in. This is one of my favorite videos of all times. If I could put this into my intro video somehow, that would be great. That would be fun. I would watch a channel that played this 24/7. I would watch it. I would just leave it on loop. Just watch it, man. Nothing better than seeing Hillary Clinton thrown into the side of a van, a black van of all that, and just tossed in there. Tossed in. Whoop. Bye, Hillary. Bye. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then it wasn't just like a few months later, she fell down like a flight of stairs or something. Do you guys remember that story? And she like busted up her knee or ankle. I think it was after the election. that happened. And that whole thing, it was coming to the surface that there was she had a bunch of health issues going on with her, and they were hiding it in front of the public. Oh, what do you know? Just kind of like they did with Joe Biden, hiding it in front of the public, hiding Kamala Harris's absolute drinking problems from the public. So yeah, there's a lot of this going on. So anyway, absolutely. Cue the Benny Hill music. Absolutely, Mindy. Absolutely. So anyway, well, that's all I have for tonight for you guys. Leave you guys off with a little bit of Hillary Clinton throwing into the side of the van there as we get out of here for tonight. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night for the next edition of our Freedom Stream as we get ready to head into the weekend. I'm sure we're going to have more developments with the whole Russiagate stuff tomorrow. I'll look into a little bit more of the Pam Bondi medical hiatus. Need to look into that. So I'll look into all these things for you guys for tomorrow, and look to try to do my best to shed some light and give you guys some info that you guys might find interesting. So don't forget, I appreciate all you guys watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already done so. Thank you guys so much over on Rumble for watching. I see you guys over there. You guys were a very quiet chat today, but that's okay. I'm glad you're watching over there. Thank you for being part of the channel. If you want to help the channel out, you can always become a member. I'm trying to hit that 50 member mark before the end of August. So if you're able to help contribute, fantastic. If you can't, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and check out the other platforms I'm on. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, of course, Rumble. Go subscribe to those other channels and help me continue to try to reach people with some truth in reporting and giving some good analysis on some of this stuff. So let me know. Go follow those other links. Let me know if you show up over there. Say, hey, Frank, I was sent by the Freedom Stream. So, all right. I will talk to you guys a little bit later tomorrow night for sure, 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'll see you guys then. You guys all have a great rest of your evening. That's not working. Let me try that again. Ooh, we're going to be on air for a little bit longer. This is not wanting to work. Let's see here. I'm going to refresh this. Reload site.